Hi, all new and aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners, or if you have been in business 5 years or less, you are on the right module because we will teach you how to generate continuous profits. But we understand how important it is to have the foundation of your business established correctly. So I created this module as the master of the Startup Business Factory to help you get started and to know what an EIN is all about. You will hear EIN either when you go and apply for a bank account or if you're talking to your accountant or tax preparer. So let's get into the module to find out what an EIN is all about and what you need to know about it. So let's take some time to talk about what an EIN number is. An EIN number is an employer identification number. And I want to break it down to the easiest format so that you can understand. So your social security number, it identifies you as a person. And everything that you apply for with your social security number can be tracked back to you. And it is the same metaphor when using an EIN number for your business. Your EIN number identifies your business, and everything that you do with that EIN number in turns reflects your business. There are several things that you would need, or several reasons you would need an EIN number. One, the main and most important reason is to protect your identity. Instead of having to supply your social security number when you are interacting with businesses or with the government, you will supply your EIN number instead. If, let's say, that someone is going to hire you and you are going to perform that business under your business name, when you complete a W-9, you do not have to put your social security number on the W-9. Instead, you will put your business name and the business EIN number. It separates your personal from your business. As a startup business, it is important that you start out using your EIN number. Go ahead and apply for an EIN number, but you will need to identify the structure of your business before you apply for an EIN number. And I like to tell new entrepreneurs and business owners that before you apply for an EIN number, it is important that you register your business name in your state, because if that name is already in use, then you cannot get an EIN number under that business name. Or if that name is already in use and you decide to set your structure up as a limited liability company, a LLC, then you can't use that name. So be sure you research your state, and if your business name is available, register that name. And once you register that name, you have 1 year to use that name as an LLC. An EIN number is also known as a tax identification number, and it is not required if you operate a sole proprietorship or an LLC with no employees. Instead, you will use your social security number. However, I suggest that you apply for an EIN number to protect your identity, and it would keep you from using your social security number in instances where they ask for your EIN or tax identification number. Now, most business transactions or business entities require you to have an EIN number to perform business under your business name, such as opening up a business account. So if you want to open up a business account in your business name, you need to have an EIN number. If you decide to establish your business as an LLC, it is wise to apply for an EIN number whether or not you have employees. This way, when you apply for an LLC, a partnership, S corp, or corporation, you have to register your name first. So let me kind of go back a little bit and to help you to understand. When you start out in business, you may run your business as a sole proprietor, meaning that there is just one person involved in the business. You're not paying anybody by W 2. So, as you begin to grow and establish your business, you may want to separate the liability of your company and protect your personal assets with an LLC. An LLC is a limited liability company, or an LLP is a limited liability partnership, two or more joint owners. So if you decide later on that you want to establish your business as an LLC, you will have to apply for a EIN number. So before you apply for the EIN number, and I like to explain to new business owners that I would register my business name in the state in which I operate in first, because if you start operating your business under a name that has already been established as a business entity, LLC, or trademark, that owner can shut your business down. So register your name first to see if it is available. And if you are planning to trademark your business, it is wise to do a federal search, not just a state search. You need to do a federal search. And once you do a federal search, then apply for the registration in your state. After you apply for the registration in your state, then apply for your LLC. So, for instance, I'm in the state of Alabama, and when I started the Startup Business Factory, at first I was going to start the Startup Factory. The Startup Factory was available in the state of Alabama, but it was not available federal, meaning nationwide. Somebody had already trademarked the Startup Factory. So I contemplated and went back and forth and decided to use the Startup Business Factory. I did a federal search and it's available and it's under trademark right now. I registered the name in the state of Alabama. Then I applied for my EIN number, because if you are going to establish your business as a LLC, your business name must include LLC when you're applying for your EIN number. But you can also do business just as whatever name that you choose. So, for instance, my EIN number is established as the Startup Business Factory LLC, doing business as the Startup Business Factory, or the startup. Okay, so after you register, then apply for your EIN number. Because if you do it backwards, let's say that you decide to apply for your EIN number first. Well, when you go to register, that name may be already taken. And I have a perfect example with Accurate Tax Service LLC. I started doing business as Accurate Tax Services, and I created or applied for my EIN number. And when you have an EIN number, the system, the IRS is not going to tell you if that name have already been applied for. They are going to let you apply for that number. Well, when I went to register the name, Accurate Tax Services was already LLC. So I had to create my business entity under Accurate Tax Service LLC, doing business as Accurate Tax Services, which can also be a conflict because someone else is already using Accurate Tax Services. But because I had already established my brand as Accurate Tax Services, I decided to keep the name and to set up the structure as Accurate Tax Service LLC. So this is why it is important that you do your search first before you apply for your EIN number. But you will need an EIN number, and I suggest that you apply for an EIN number just to separate your personal information from your business information. So now that you're ready to apply for an EIN number or a tax identification number, you may be asking, how do I apply for this number? The easiest way to apply for an EIN number is to apply online under www.irs.gov. IRS stands for Internal Revenue Services, and in the search box, you can type in apply for EIN or just type in EIN. Now, in order to apply for EIN based upon the IRS.gov website, it say that you may apply for an EIN online if your principal business is located in the United States. So basically, you are in the United States. The person applying online must have a valid tax ID number, meaning you must have a valid social security number. You cannot process your application online if you have an EIN number previously obtained through the internet. So let's say that you applied for an EIN number online before, you would have to call in to apply for the number, or you can fax it, or you can mail in your application. Also, it takes about 15 minutes to apply for the EIN number online, so be sure that you have some of the most pertinent information that you need in order to apply for it online. Now, keep in mind, in order to apply for your EIN number, it's Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Those are the only times that you can apply for your EIN number online. Now, it is important that you have certain things established before you apply for your EIN number, such as your business address. What address are you going to use? Are you going to use your post office box, or are you going to use your home address? I do not suggest that you use your home address on any of your business dealings. Please get a P.O. box number, but not your home address if you can avoid it. Also, it's going to ask for a telephone number. If I were you, I would have a separate business line already established. You can establish that through Google Voice, and there are several other companies that you can establish for free, but just make sure that in the beginning you start to separate your personal from your business. What you need to know about an EIN number or a tax identification number that I did not know. So listen closely. So when I first started my business, I can't even remember the first business that I started. I did what I thought I was supposed to do, and that was to apply for an EIN number. Now, that was correct. Well, after I established that business, I established another business. I forgot whatever the name of it was. Well, I did not realize that when you establish a business as a sole proprietor and you decide to establish another business with this as the same entity. So let's say you have two businesses, or let's say that you have one business, you close that business, you stop operating that business, and you want to open up another business, and the business entity did not change. It is still a sole proprietary business. You only need one EIN number. You do not have to apply for two EIN numbers. As a matter of fact, that first EIN number can be used for all of your businesses unless you change your business entity. Once you change your business entity, a business entity meaning that I am now going to a LLC or LLP, or I'm going to a S corp or a partnership. Once you change your business entity, then that means that your tax ID number has to change. If you are selling your business, that means that your tax ID number has to change. So I think it's important that you understand that as long as the business entity remains the same, a sole proprietary business, then you do not, and it is not required for you to apply for another business tax ID number. You'll use the same tax ID number with a different business name. If you need that business name to be reflected on paper, then you would just have to contact the IRS to get that change. But the EIN number, it remains the same. If you enjoyed this module, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube under the Startup Business Factory. And you can find me, your master, D. Edwards, on LinkedIn, where you will find an online community of new and aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners who are moving from frustration to execution, bypassing unnecessary mistakes, and they are ready to generate continuous profits. Have an amazing day.